Camping on the job.
Aliens.
Where are the aliens? Where'd the aliens go?
Did you see that bus go by?
Oh, I did. Oh, that doesn't look good. Oh, that don't look good. Someone's gonna get hurt. Oh yeah, that's not. Should we run for it?
There's aliens.
Should we make a run for it? Yeah, we should. Let's exit the situation, regroup, and figure out a new plan for that. It's been just about 2 years that I took a weekend trip to my hometown of Akron, New York, just to see the set of A Quiet Place 2. There was some speculation that Hollywood's good boy John Krasinski was planning on filming A Quiet Place 2 right in my hometown after he not so subtly dined at one of the restaurants here. When that was confirmed, people around here went nuts. But for me in particular, being a huge movie buff and wannabe filmmaker, having a strong attachment to my unique little town that I spent the first 18 years of my life in, and with John Krasinski being my favorite name in Hollywood for quite some time now, my reaction went a little like this. This is my personal account of why filming A Quiet Place 2 in my hometown meant so much to me. First, a little background. Akron is a small village a little bit outside Buffalo. Nothing much goes on here, it's pretty tucked back, not a whole lot of outsiders come through, probably because the main street is a dead end. It's pretty much standard procedure as far as small town America goes. I graduated with only like 100 classmates, most I've been in school with since kindergarten. Everyone knows everyone.
This is Mike Midoff.
Mike Midoff's he's a bro. There's a park that hugs the outskirts of the village. It's practically part of the village if you ask me. And if you ever had Perry's ice cream, it's made right down the street. So did anyone see this little town becoming the choice for a big Hollywood production? Not really, but the signs were all there. Buffalo as a whole has become a major hub for filmmaking in the last few years. The bridge in Akron Falls Park even appeared in a scene in the 2017 movie Marshall, which to my knowledge is actually the first time the town was featured in a major Hollywood picture. In terms of location, never mind the picturesque old-timey small-town charm, Akron just logistically makes sense.
And we chose Akron because we have a whole lot going on in this town. A whole lot of stunts, a whole lot of big, high production value. So we needed a town that we could do all that in and control the whole town, because our creatures are going to make the grand entrance here on this huge, huge street.
If you ask me, its tucked back, dead-end Main Street made it an ideal location for a film crew. For the most part, film crews just want to get in, do their job with as few distractions as possible. The production shut down the town for over 2 weeks, not just to businesses, but to traffic as well. If they were filming in a town with a heavily trafficked main street like most towns, it would have been a much bigger headache to shut it all down and redirect all of that traffic. It was later confirmed that the majority of the film would be shot in the western New York area. Even the soundstage they filmed on wasn't some Hollywood studio, it was right here at Buffalo Film Works. Of course, like most people, I was not there to witness the actual production. For that perspective, I am turning to my inside source.
Hey!
Hey, Uncle Hank, it's David.
How you doing?
This is Hank Chimes, my uncle, my godfather, extra on set, and owner of this truck.
I got a call from Billy, who's one of the top guys there, who said, "What color is your truck? We're going to pay you for your truck, and we'll pay you for your time. You'll be there with your truck all the time that we need it." And I went, "Sounds like a good job to me." So I was fortunate enough to be in Akron and in Tonawanda. As he's walking through the parking lot, there's a guy that walks by him and nods his head. That's me. My truck was up on the bridges. That I didn't see my truck on it, but it's up there. It was funny because there's a few of us that were there, and they're talking about Emily and John, and they're talking to me about it, and I'm going, if John Krasinski comes up and offers me a coffee right now, I'm going to say thank you. But I had no clue who you're talking about.
Now, I won't take too long on this part, but just let me fanboy about John for a minute. I love this man. As I said before, he is my favorite name in Hollywood. It's hard to even explain why. He's a good actor, but about as good as any Hollywood star. His writing and directing credits are a bit all over the place, with the Quiet Place movies really only being the monumental pictures he's done. but I think we can all agree across his acting, writing, and directing, I don't know, the best way to sum it all up is that he just gets to the point and makes us care. His ability to capture relatability in both the mundane and extraordinary is what I think draws so many people to him, myself especially. We've all looked to Jim in The Office for relatability. I'd go so far to say that the relationship between Jim and Pam is one of the most important relationships in television, just from how many couples were impacted seeing something so relatable on TV. Personally, for me, my two favorite outings for him are his role as Bert in Away We Go and The Haulers, which he starred in and directed. If you're already a fan of his because of Jim Halpert, I highly recommend you check these movies out. In terms of A Quiet Place, I honestly attribute what makes these movies so great to the same reasons he succeeds as an actor, the relatability. I too have fond memories in high school driving down Main Street in the backseat of my mom's car with a bus barreling towards me at 40 miles an hour during the onset of an alien invasion. Okay, that's not what I meant. While the premise is incredibly clever and enough to get you sucked into the world, Krasinski has said over and over that he never meant this to be a horror movie first.
I was like, I don't know how to do a horror movie. So instead, I just did a family drama and Trojan Horse it as a horror movie because I thought you'll be more scared if you fall in love with these characters. As psychotic as it seems when you look at the poster, these movies are a love letter to my kids.
And off the movie set, yeah, he continues just to be an all-around great guy, it seems.
I can honestly tell you, he is who he appears to be. Let's put it that way. Things would go wrong and you would not hear this guy get upset and scream. You would hear the guy say, "That's okay, man. Don't worry about it. Let's do this." It was impressive.
That's incredible.
Like I don't follow movie stars at all, but I can say that I have a lot of respect for this guy.
For me, the actor, screenwriter, and director all seem to stem from the same person. I see a very clear expression of himself in all of his projects, no matter what his role is or no matter how different they may be. And I can't say that about every celebrity. When I came home 2 years ago to walk Main Street and see the set, I was nothing short of awestruck. It's every amateur filmmaker's dream to set foot on a real Hollywood set, so that alone really impacted me. For that set to be the town I grew up in and still adore to this day, to see a dream that seemed so far away in my life literally be right around the corner from my mom's house. I've been staring at the page for a few minutes now, trying to find words to express what that experience meant to me. This video is proof that there really are no words. It's like, it was my town, but in an alternate universe. First off, what the hell is Millbrook? Millbrook? What is this? Millbrook. There's no Perry's ice cream shop right in town, but geez, I've never been so happy to see product placement. This stone exterior on the side of the building. Plastic. They had to put in a Radio Shack just to close it down. Oh, this looks familiar. This too. Yeah, it looks like Emily Blunt is driving behind a Subaru here. I found some unexplained Subaru windows on my mom's driveway next to the road closure sign / dinner sign. You never know. While I feel like I was getting the first-hand experience being able to walk around the set 2 years ago, this video here was really all I experienced of the filmmaking process when they picked back up again after the weekend. I snapped a couple pictures before a PA very politely shooed me away.
I was so impressed on how the whole thing ran. I mean, I was so impressed on how you were treated. It hands down a cool experience, something somebody should do just to experience it once. It was awesome.
Yeah, this is where the crew would have been hanging out. All the windows were newspapered up. Right there, right in this spot, I swear. Bless you. This is where Emily Blunt was standing in my picture. John Krasinski at her side, power couple of the 21st century. By the way, this is Nathanael. He's a lifelong Akron resident, fellow filmmaker, puppet enthusiast, and my best friend. He's helping me out on this shoot while we both reflect on the town's role in A Quiet Place 2, now that we've both seen it.
Me and my mom heard that they were shooting one night and they were letting people come watch. They had the bus with the hole in it set up at the top of the street there. The bus comes like barreling down the street. I'm sitting here with my mom and a crowd of people on the other side of the rope. We're just watching. And as soon as the bus hits the car, my mom's the only one. She goes, "Oh!" Like no one else said anything. She's the only one who reacted like the bus hitting the car. I mean, everyone sees what's happening, but it was just so funny. Yeah, this was the car dealership that was in the movie. Actually, it's where I go to the doctor. they painted this on the side of the building.
Yep. So there's like a couple remnants from the set design that's like still left up. Pretend this is a bag of oranges.
There's nothing down there.
Everybody's coming out from that corner there. Absolutely nothing back there. Just Murder Creek. Yes, the creek is literally called Murder Creek. Emily Blunt, when she first turns,
She's pulling
coming
out
from there.
Town hall.
Yeah.
parking lot. Just that little roundabout.
See that down there? Just a creek. Nothing down there.
Just that building over here. That was my Uncle Thurber. That's his garage that they paid him to like take out the wall. That's where the alien bursts out chasing
No kidding.
them. Yeah.
Way.
There's actually not a bar in there either.
What?
I know, right?
Movie magic. I had no idea until, yeah, and that they actually like stripped pretty much the entire building here, and this is where, yeah, this is where they filmed for, no. Wait a second, did they? That's all practical. They definitely put in a separate window just to shatter it in that shot. I know the lengths that special effects people will go to even just getting like the smallest details, like, you know, that window shattering that's just in the corner of the shot.
Yeah.
But this is the first time that I was able to see it in person.
For someone who's not into the movie stuff, I don't watch movies. Yeah, Clint Eastwood, right? Okay, you know. But to actually be there, seeing how they do things. When you're watching a movie, and a person just watching a movie, you see those little details, but it really doesn't affect you. But then when you see how much time they put into those details, oh my God, you know,
Yeah.
it's amazing. It's really amazing.
In early 2020, the first trailer dropped for A Quiet Place Part 2, and immediately the first image is Emily Blunt driving up a stretch of Main Street doing that insane stunt that, you know, was all practical. Nice touch with the dead body there. Soon after, we get another one revealing how that cop car got messed up. The hype was real. There it was, Akron in all its cinematic glory. A star-studded cast running up and down the main street I knew and loved, performing death-defying stunts. The chance to see this on the big screen created the biggest movie hype for me since 8-year-old me heard that they were making a live-action Garfield movie. March 2020 couldn't come soon enough. And then, it did. A Quiet Place 2 has been postponed. Oh God, this is terrible. I'm gonna have to wait so long to be able to see it. Like 2 months. Oh, you poor naive soul. You don't know. Personally, for my situation, COVID didn't too drastically alter my life or deprive me of life's joys any more than the average person. After a while, doing the things I loved, seeing the people I cared about, it all felt semi-normal, just with a mask on. I'm privileged enough to say that not being able to go to the movies was really the hardest that COVID hit me, with A Quiet Place 2 being one of the first movies to delay its theatrical release. That was the start of a long and painful drought of being without movie theaters. It certainly was not easy living in anticipation of the movie release that meant so much to me. So finally, towards the end of May 2021, a staggering 14 months later, I was able to walk into the theater of my childhood with my dad to finally see A Quiet Place Part 2. Not only was that a huge relief to finally be able to see it, not only was Krasinski's insistence that this movie be experienced in a theater absolutely warranted, but for me and maybe plenty of other people, that the joys of a pre-pandemic world were slowly returning to us. And there it was. The very first shot of the movie was an establishing shot of Main Street, followed by several more, setting up this fictional upstate New York village as a quiet place. and it doesn't take long for the mayhem to unfold. While only taking up maybe 15 or so minutes of screen time, the scenes filmed in Akron explored the first moments of how the world came to be overtaken by blind, sound-hunting monsters.
You think the good boy lived?
Akron got the premium treatment for this movie. The most intense practical effects, the craziest stunts, meticulous set design, the best acting, all to contribute to some of the most memorable visual storytelling I've seen on film. And the choice to film on location in an authentic upstate town I consider to be the base for all of these elements to come together. It's almost like the rest of the movie rides the wave of this flashback. You're rooting for this family's success on their journey because now you have a fully rounded picture of where they've come from and what they've been through. The credits rolled. At the very end, seeing the entire village of Akron, New York under the special thanks list felt like a closure to a long saga, to which I say, you're welcome. A Quiet Place 2 held the highest weekend debut in the box office of 2021 until it was beaten by the 9th Fast and Furious movie. Knowing that this part of me has now been seen by audiences all across the world, providing they weren't covering their eyes from how scary it was, is such a surreal feeling, especially knowing that these Quiet Place movies will likely stand the test of time and be remembered as some of the most iconic thriller movies of this decade.
I always say I'm not lucky, I'm blessed, because for some reason, somehow, I was able to be involved in that. I'm reminded by my movie fans just how cool it is that I am in a movie, I was involved in a movie it's a major movie and probably will always be a major movie.
Inspiration comes to us in many ways. We need to feel it in order to do meaningful things with our lives. Bearing witness to the journey of this town, I hold very close to my heart, as a filmmaking idol saw something of value in it for his passion project, really transformed me. No, I didn't meet John Krasinski. He didn't give me any filmmaking advice or a job, and they filmed The Quiet Place 2 in my hometown is just barely passable as an interesting conversation starter at parties. But that's not the point. When you can see with your own eyes something beyond your wildest dreams happening just around the corner.
Mom's house, set decoration, movie set.
And be able to say, hey, I think I can do that too. I think I want to do that too. That's inspiration. And if some seemingly insignificant, off-the-radar town like Akron can inspire Hollywood, then I'm inspired to believe that anything's possible.